This is the Scarcity Studios YouTube channel. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. And our sponsors at Alpha Claims and Hire Birmingham, the leading and best accident management company. Get a replacement car anywhere in 1 hour. I really appreciate you joining me today, and this video is very simple. And it's a request to my subscribers to do something for a little baby called Amina who lost her life. And she'd only been with us for 8 weeks. Upon reading her case yesterday, I was shocked to learn that her mother and father are not to stand trial for murder. They have been found guilty of physically abusing their child after a 4-week trial, but this is not murder or even manslaughter. This is on the grounds of GBH. They also abused another child as well that was in their care. And I'm not sure why this story has got so little attention. Maybe because there is no image of the child. Maybe because there is no video footage or audios similar to Arthur Hughes. But at the same time, this story is devastating to hear and also breathtaking to understand how this actually got to where it has without them standing trial. So what I've done is made a petition, and I really want you to sign this petition after I've explained this story and you make your own mind up. And this is a petition to MPs to try to get this couple a review on their sentencing or even to stand trial for murder. The couple were found guilty of abusing their child at Inner London Crown Court on the 30th of November. Naomi Johnson of Octavia Street, SW11 and Benjamin O'Shea, 26 of Dominion Drive, SE16, were found guilty of causing and allowing a child to suffer physical harm in relation to the 8-week-old baby Amina. They were also found guilty of cruelty to another child under 16 in relation to a separate incident, and they will be sentenced on the 17th of December. The offending came to light after 8-week-old baby Amina died on the 26th of April 2019. Johnson and O'Shea called 999 after their baby girl Amina stopped breathing. Paramedics arrived at the scene and immediately they began to try to save the baby's life, but despite their best efforts, the child died shortly after. There was no visible injuries and the cause of death was thought to be sudden unexplained death in infants, also known as cot death. But when they did a post-mortem, they discovered that her x-ray showed a catalogue of injuries that she had sustained in the 8 weeks that she was alive. Amina was found with 60 fractured bones in her body, 41 fractures to her ribs, interior and posteriorly. She had 24 limb bone fractures, and O'Shea told paramedics the day before she died that he had taken her to a GP for a routine visit and she seemed fine when she returned home. O'Shea told doctors that they'd given Amina paracetamol before she'd gone to bed. O'Shea took her to the front room to settle her and Johnson fed her. Amina was given more paracetamol, fed and again put to bed. O'Shea went to check on her about 20 minutes later, he said, and upon hearing a faint heartbeat and no breathing, he went to wake up his partner. So due to the lack of evidence, visible evidence of child abuse, they scheduled more experts to look at the body of Amina. A radiological examination was carried out and the first fractures were discovered. A radiologist found the multiple fractures were highly indicative that Amina had suffered continued physical abuse. Some of the fractures were relatively recent, they said, and others had begun to heal, suggesting that she had been injured more than once. She had been subject to multiple episodes of abuse. As a result of the findings of the special post-mortem, no cause of death was established. Due to the level of injury, a police investigation was launched on May the 3rd, 2019. Johnson and O'Shea were immediately arrested. During the course of the police interviews, both of them said that Amina's death was a result of an earlier visit to the GP and fractures caused by the paramedics. Detectives from the Metropolitan Homicide and Serious Crime Unit led the investigation into Amina's death and consulted with a number of experts regarding the injuries had been sustained on at least 2 occasions, and the limb bone fractures were on at least 7 occasions. They had found a constellation of fractures and they could not have been caused accidentally. A neuropathological examination found evidence of small hemorrhaging that had healed. On the 11th of September 2019, O'Shea and Johnson were rearrested for grievous bodily harm. As part of the investigation, detectives went through text messages between the pair and it was revealed that O'Shea boasted of his military service when in fact he was a reservist for a couple of years, and he had also had numerous calls to NHS 111 between 2016 and 2019 referring to his self-diagnosed PTSD OCD and his aggression issues. Police found a call to NHS 911 from the 1st of April 2019 where Johnson reported that Amina had been coughing blood, and when the doctor phoned back and spoke to O'Shea to advise him, O'Shea failed to tell Johnson and the child was not taken to hospital. In later police interviews, the pair both denied ever injuring the child. In relation to another child who was known to the pair, police found texts where they both admitted slapping the child and treating them badly. Johnson said that he hit the child 3 times and only gave them water until dinner time. O'Shea said in another text to Johnson that he discussed his difficulty in staying calm when the child knocked over a drink in a fast food restaurant. Detective Inspector Melanie Presley, who led the investigation, said, "This is truly heartbreaking and this touched all of us who worked on this case to bring Johnson and O'Shea before the courts for their crimes. The cruelty and callousness of the pair discussed the treatment of the child in this case is shocking. Children depend on their parents to look after them, and Amina was betrayed by Johnson and O'Shea. In the 8 weeks of her life, she suffered unimaginable trauma, and the trauma she endured in the short life made it impossible for her to live any longer. It is incomprehensible how an adult can inflict such cruelty on a defenseless, innocent child, and throughout the investigation, the police were able to establish how the baby died, and Johnson and O'Shea tried to deny any involvement. They sought to protect themselves and didn't think about the 2 children in the case. And this is all in the background of Arthur Hughes' murder as well. I've covered Arthur's story and there's 3 episodes on the channel about him. And he was killed by his parents and his stepmother was jailed for 29 years. Their sentence is being reviewed to try to get them an immediate life sentence. And with this law, this is the reason why I want this petition to raise awareness for Amina, because I believe that they should be getting a bigger sentence, and this definitely qualifies under Arthur's law if they do bring it into effect. This is the government plans to change legislation to give an immediate life sentence to anybody that kills their own children or any child, and this is something that I'm a big supporter of, and I hope that you will support me as well. So I really appreciate you joining me today, and I'm sorry that I didn't have more information about the story to be able to bring it to light as well. But if you do want to support the channel and the petition, go onto the website now. The link is in the description, and I'd really appreciate it if you did do that. Thank you. Peace.